Alright guys, this is reading video number 1 for Monday, October 28th. You will need your blue folder out of the green bucket. Please make sure you've gotten that. You should have probably gotten it this morning to work on your vocab during morning work time. What I need you to do is get out your Animal Defense Research Notebook out of your folder and go ahead and turn to page 8. We are going to be using page 8, which is Animal Defense Research Notebook, Animal Behavior, Animal Defenses, Chapter 1, Gist Chart. So what I've done is I started filling this out. You're also going to need your Animal Behavior book. We are going to be reading pages 7 through 12. And I'm going to read it out loud, and I want you to follow along. After each section, you're going to write the gist of that section. Remember, the gist is like the main idea of that section. So the sections that you're going to be reading today, or that I'll be reading, are avoiding danger, self-defense, lying low, a life in hiding. You have read all of these. We've read them together, but we are going back and making sure that we've got this whole packet done. So please open your book to page 7 and follow along with me. Chapter 1, Avoiding Danger. A cheetah skulks through the tall grass of the African savanna. Head lowered, she stares intently at a herd of gazelles. Her spotted coat blends in with the dry grass, making her nearly invisible as she sneaks up on her prey. The gazelles continue to graze. Between bites of grass, each one snaps up its head to check out its surroundings. Bright eyes scan the horizon. Ears swivel to pick up the slightest sound. Nostrils flare to sniff for the scent of a cheetah, lion, or other hungry predator. Suddenly, a few gazelles snort and stamp their feet. The entire herd goes on high alert. The black bands that run down the gazelles' sides quiver, passing along the message, danger. Then some of the gazelles begin bouncing as if on pogo sticks. They spring high in the air with their backs arched and legs stiff. They land on all fours and then leap again. The cheetah pauses. The gazelles have seen her. It is impossible to launch a surprise attack now. The cheetah depends on one short-lived, startling burst of speed to chase down a gazelle. The gazelles, however, also run fast, hitting speeds of up to 40 miles an hour. And they can keep up the speed much longer than a cheetah can. Their odd jumping behavior, called stotting, signals to the cheetah. We have seen you, so do not bother to chase us. We are strong and healthy and can outrun you. If the cheetah is lucky, perhaps she will find a gazelle fawn hidden in the grass. However, the fawns have tawny coats and can lie still as a stone for a long time. Plus, the fawns' mothers are careful not to give the cheetahs any clues as to where they find their young hiding. Like most wild animals, gazelles are always watching out for danger. Most often, the danger is another animal, in this case a hungry cheetah. Even domestic animals such as horses, sheep, and chickens are on the alert for any threat to their safety. Being alert is the first step an animal takes to defend itself. It is one of the many behaviors that animals use to survive in a world filled with predators. Much of an animal's self-defense behavior comes from within it. Most animals are born knowing how to defend themselves. Scientists call this inborn knowledge instinct. So that section was called Avoiding Danger. So you're going to write Avoiding Danger here, and this chart is on page 8 of your notebook. Avoiding Danger over here in the section, and then write what the gist is. You can pause this or come back to it, but you need to write the gist of Avoiding Danger. The next section that we're reading is Self-Defense. Over millions of years, the many different kinds or species of animals had developed ways of defending themselves. Animals may use protective colors, sharp spines, and excellent hearing. An animal has its defense tools at the ready at all time, whether or not it is in danger. They are known as primary defenses. The gazelle's primary defenses include its horns, its keen senses, and its speed. A gazelle's fawn's primary defenses include its ability to lie still and concealing color coat. An animal's primary defenses are backed up by behaviors known as secondary defenses. The animal uses its secondary defenses when it confronts a predator. A gazelle uses secondary defenses when it stamps, stots, or runs away, or if it is caught by a cheetah or other predator. Gazelle fawns use most the basic form of self-defense: avoid being noticed. Like fawns, many animals evade detection by hiding, freezing, or blending in with their habitat. This is called crypsis. That is the end of that second section titled Self-Defense. Make sure you have the title here, then write the gist of that section. Remember, our gist should be written in complete sentences. That includes capital and punctuation. Page 10. Lying low. Many animals hide to avoid being noticed. Turn over a stone or stir a pile of leaves to reveal a world of hidden creatures. A worm squirming in the sudden burst of light, a rolled-up pill bug, a centipede quickly scurrying out of sight, tiny springtails, and even tinier mites. Trees and other plants harbor animals seeking hideaways. Insects hide under leaves, long stems, and under scraps of bark. Pale trails winding through a leaf show where the larvae or young of various moths and beetles are feeding safely between the leaves layers. Etchings in a tree bark show where beetles have bored and sighed to feed on its wood while under cover. Many insects even alter plants to create places to hide. Some caterpillars roll up leaves and seal them shut with sticky silk. Weaver ants seal leaves together with silk made by their larvae, which include which the adult ants use as if they were glue sticks. Some insects, including species of aphids, midges, and wasps, spur plants to grow protective cases. These cases, called galls, are hard knobs with spongy interiors. As larvae feed on the plant, their saliva induces the growth of these galls. Larger animals also take advantage of the safe shelter provided by plants, rocks, and other parts of their habitat. Birds hide in their nests amid grasses, tuck them among branches, bury them deep inside burrows, and conceal them in tree holes. Staying hidden for many hours is not necessary for an animal that can get into a hiding place quickly. Many small rodents feed close to their burrows so they can dive into them at the first glimpse of a hawk overhead. Crabs scuttle swiftly beneath stones. The pancake tortoise of East Africa, which has a flat, flexible shell, wedges itself into a crevice between rocks. The turtle braces its legs so that it cannot easily be pulled out of its hiding spot. The chuckwalla, a lizard that lives in the southeastern United States, also darts into crevices. Then it inflates its lung with air so that its body swells up, wedging it into place. That is the section for lying low. Lying low. You find the section headers and the orange or brownish writing. Our last section is a life and hiding. A variety of species go to the extreme. They spend most of their lives in hiding. Over millions of years, they have adapted to surviving in habitats that keep them under cover. Many kinds of clams, for example, burrow into sandy or muddy beaches. Some species live just under the surface, while others dig deeply. A large clam, called the geoduck, can bury itself 3 feet below the surface. By burrowing, a clam protects itself from being washed away by waves, drying out in the sun, and being an easy target for predators. It does not need to leave its hiding place to find food. Instead, the clam opens its paired shell and reaches up through the sand with a body part called a siphon. The siphon takes in water, which the clam filters to extract particles of food. If the clam senses vibrations rippling through the sand, it quickly pulls in its siphon. Vibrations may mean a predator is investigating its hiding spot. The clam may also burrow more deeply to escape. Some clams can dig quickly. The razor clam can move 9 inches in 1 minute. Other animals find safety in living underground too. Earthworms spend much of the day burrowing through the soil. If caught by a bird's probing beak, an earthworm struggles to resist being yanked out of the ground. It grabs the walls of the burrow with bristles that line its sides. The worm's hind end also bulges to help clamp it in place. A mole digging through the earth can send earthworms scuttling out of the soil. Moles eat earthworms and even store them for later, biting them and then stuffing them into holes in their tunnels. A mole rarely needs to poke its head above ground. There, an owl, fox, or weasel might pounce on it. So we have read the sections Avoiding Danger, Self-Defense, Lying Low, and A Life in Hiding. So once again, on page 8 of your research notebook, you need to have those section titles written on the side that says section. And then on this side, I need you to write the gist for each of those sections. Remember, the gist is mainly the main idea of that section, what it is about. And then make sure that you have written that in complete sentences. This is the end of video 1 for reading.